Hi guys, welcome to my video about Diablo 3 in English language for Blizzard Entertainment. I thought about making this video like for 2 weeks or something like that, and this night I saw that two really famous Diablo 3 players did their videos, really short ones I guess, and they made some suggestions, and I felt like, okay, let's do this. I don't care anymore. I thought I need boom bada bang, but I just do a PowerPoint presentation to you. Yeah, I really put some thought into it, so please listen carefully. But first of all, I need to talk to the German viewers who do not speak English that much and who will blame me for speaking English. Ja, wie schon gesagt, es tut mir leid, ich werde das Video jetzt in Englisch machen und der Grund ist einfach, ich möchte, dass vielleicht auch irgendjemand von Blizzard das sehen kann. Ja, vielleicht gibt es dann irgendwann mal deutsche Untertitel. Ich werde mich da vielleicht mal dran machen. Aber ja, und damit die Amis sich jetzt auch ein bisschen freuen, sage ich auch noch einmal Weißwurst, ja, und Hefeweizen. Und damit können wir dann eigentlich auch schon weitermachen. Okay, so you see, this is the front screen. I think that Diablo 3 is no game with potential right now. Diablo 3 was fun to play. I had some fun, yeah, and so on. I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks I don't like the game anymore and I won't play it anymore. Because Diablo 3 lacks some really important stuff that Diablo 2 had. And I want to point that out to you. And let's level for a second, yeah? First of all, I want to talk with you about Cryptips, yeah? He made his own video here. He talked a lot about his stuff, he thought, and so on. I want to give some feedback to that in the first place. So he said, gear is too strong, and WoW gear is weak compared to that. And gear has to be rated down. So I didn't get that, because I prepared the Excel sheet for you, because I think gear is very strong in WoW. Yeah, you know, this is some calculation, you know, just some possibilities and so on. I assume your character does only 1100 DPS, boss HP is very high and so on, and you can take 2 hits in a row, you know, before you get the next heal. I say the possibility to get a hit per second is 1%. My success rate is 9%. Okay, let's say we are 10 people, so my success rate goes up a little bit. Because, of course, I got more DPS, so fewer time taken and so on, so the boss has no chance to kill me so fast, you know? And I know it's this really long story, but I need to point out that what happens when I can take 2.1 hits in this encounter. My chance to kill this boss gets up like 20%. Only because each player can take 2.1 hits instead of 2 hits. Yeah, this is an average hit, you know. This is only some possibilities I threw together. If I have a bigger rate, you know, I get even more DPS, same boss HP, the success rate is kind of the same, you know. That's the math behind this stuff, you know. Possibility to die for each person is 5.74%, and so on and so on. So you see, only a minor tweak at the HP of every player improves the success rate drastically. And it's the same way in Diablo, you know. When you got only a slight potion more of HP, only a slight potion more of DPS, we can change that as well. You will see that the success rate goes up very high, you know. And if I lower the DPS, it goes drastically down. And that's the same way Diablo 2 works, Diablo 3 works. If you got minor tweaks on your gear, you get a big influence. Yeah, and so his argument that gear is too strong, but WoW gear is weak, is wrong, you know. I think gear is okay in Diablo 3, and WoW gear is still very strong in WoW. I don't know what WoW he played, but okay. So on. Crit scales to good is the second assumption, and I agree. Yeah, crit scales immense. You know, it's very strong because it multiplies. Crit and crit damage multiplies each other, so you get incredible DPS. But for many builds, crit is very crucial. You know, just think about Night Stalker from the Demon Hunter, or there is another for the Wizard, I don't remember right now. Even the Arcane Orbs, who could have a high crit to get more arcane power back and so on. So high crit rates need to be possible. Like 40 to 50% crit should be possible. You only need to lower one stat, and that's crit damage. And I would remove crit damage absolutely from gloves and amulets. You know, amulets can have like 70 crit damage or something like that, and gloves can have I guess 50%. I'm not sure. It's just, if you remove crit damage from my gear, I lose 100% crit damage. About. And that would be a big nerf, and it would be absolutely okay. That's enough. But I come to later back to those items like gloves and amulets, and point out why gloves and amulets are a little bit too strong right now, and so on. But if you do this, please don't do the same like you did with the attack speed. I had some gear for like 20 or 30 million gold, and you just made the attack speed half. You know, one ring was worth like 500,000 afterwards. Yeah, you nerfed it so drastically. Some people bought stuff on the real money auction house, and if you nerf items in the future, please add something instead. Like if my amulet is crit damage is removed from my amulet, and you add int instead, although I'm a demon hunter, I can still trade it. But if you just remove the crit damage, I can throw it away. I can disenchant it. That would be absolutely bad. You can't do that. You know, you can't do that. And I guess there are some people out there who really want to punch some guy from Blizzard right now because they moved attack speed so much. And I can understand. And I guess you can too. The third point is champion levels. That's a really good thing. I thought about something like the same because I guess you all know League of Legends. And Igor Stravinsky once said, lesser artists borrow, great artists steal. You don't need to be ashamed to steal something from League of Legends, you know. So many games stole stuff from Blizzard games, so it's not bad to say, okay, let's do the same stuff like League of Legends. Your account as a summoner, which can be leveled. You can play some different champions, like your Demon Hunter or a Wizard and so on, but your account can be leveled. And there's, let's say, there can be a ladder, of course. You don't want competition in Diablo 3? Why play this? There's no sense in playing Diablo 3 when there's no competition in my character with other characters, you know? Okay, I can play it once or twice, but after like 5 weeks now, it doesn't make fun anymore because there is no competition. And you need to add something, yeah? And like, your account is a summoner, and you can get champion levels for PvE. Higher summoner levels give small benefits, like Crip said, one Nephilim buff, for instance. Very nice idea, you know. Or you can keep your follower in party games. Cool idea, cool. Or some gold find on default, like 20% gold find on default. Good stuff, man. Good idea. I like that. But nothing so far. And another point from League of Legends is Riot Games is absolutely smart, and this marketing strategy they follow. Like, the game is for free, but you can buy skins and XP boosts with your pay for sale. I don't know these cards. You know, you can play the game for free and have those skins and XP boosts and so on. You can buy for real money. That's the only source of money for Riot. And Blizzard absolutely skipped this idea and just said, we do the old-fashioned way. You know, this is just a suggestion, but I think the real money auction house and everything that can happen in the future in Diablo 3 is worth very much money for Blizzard Entertainment. And I think the add-on, at least the add-on, can be for free, and you can earn your money for skins, XP boosts, or something like that. And a champion level would be very good for that. Okay. Last point is PvP levels, like in DAOC, you know, Dark Age of Camelot. Ever heard of that? Oh, maybe that was the MMORPG right before World of Warcraft. No one knows today, but some people played it, and there are PvP levels as well. You know, this is not a new concept. You can level your character to 60 or whatever max level is, and afterwards you can get PvP and PvE levels. You know, it's not a new concept, and it's good. It's proven good. So the next one who made a video with some suggestions is Athene. He talked a little bit about real money auction house. I want to show Athene, of course. I showed Crip's channel, so I show Athene. Here's the guy. Yeah, and he talked a little bit about a real money auction house, and he said the real money auction house should only sell gold because it just feels bad or something like that. I don't really get what he wanted to say, but I think what he wanted to say is those two auction houses are connected. You know, when I want to sell something, I always sell it for gold, and I buy weapons from gold, and then I sell them in a real money auction house, because everything else doesn't sell that good. You know, you have two auction houses, and they're of course linked to each other, because you can buy stuff in the one, sell it in the other, and so on. And normal players who just casually game, they don't compare everything. And the only one who is really getting something out of two auction houses, like the real money auction house and the gold auction house, are professionals and bots. Please don't tell me something else. Only professionals or bots benefit from a complex real money auction house. So it is a very nice idea. Athene is very smart. He has a very nice idea to say, okay, in the real money auction house you can only buy gold. And with gold you can of course buy in the gold auction house everything you want. And please, please, Blizzard, it's not new to anyone to, if you use the tab, the tabulator, you know, you go through the different tabs and so on to add something else in the next type window, you know. I always have to mark it with my mouse. That's really annoying. That's nothing new. It's like 20 years old. You can do this, I'm sure. And there need to be more filters. Wow, you can't tell us, like 5 million people, I guess 7 million people, you can't add more filters in the auction house? This is something I don't know, someone can do in 2 days, you know, and you don't have the time to add filters? That's wrong, man. That's absolutely wrong. You have to add that as fast as possible. Don't fool us. Okay, next point is, he says PvP, damage must be lowered. And he also says something about crit damage, I guess, and so on. And I don't think that it is wrong to have so much damage, because it would break PvP. I think it's really, really crucial to get more damage reduction gear. You say players like to be glass cannons only take one hit, so we get the repair costs up. Yeah. But you never think about players only play by your rules. And you make the rules that damage reduction gear is very tough to get. It's nearly important to get good damage reduction gear for ranged players. Have you ever tried to play Demon Hunter on hardcore? It's impossible, man. It's absolutely impossible. And that's wrong. No one tested it. You can't tell me anyone tested a Demon Hunter in hardcore. Inferno, of course. You can't. That's broken, man. And you have to get. You have to add better damage reduction gear. But I come to that later again. Last point is the attack speed nerf. I think Athene talks about that as well. He talks a little bit about the hired repair costs as well, and I guess I mentioned that with the damage reduction gear as well. So the attack speed nerf. You say the attack speed nerf happened because life on hit, but you lower the mob damage spikes. That makes no sense, man. That absolutely makes no sense. You say life on hit was too strong, but we lower the mob damage. That's just crap, man. That's nothing else. Yeah. I do understand that the spikes were a little bit tough, but this is not because the mobs hit too hard. Some mobs were just not good. You have to admit that some mobs are crap. When you play Act 1 Inferno, it's like, okay, Inferno's really hard, and I can dodge this and I can dodge that, and then you go to Act 2. Most players who are in Act 2 right now think it's very hard, but in the first 2 or 3 weeks, Act 2 was nearly impossible. One little fly killed you. Flies flew around all over the map, and for melees it was impossible to get them. And people like Crip still played through Act 2, yeah, on hardcore. And they did it because they really put much dedication into it. But it is the broken mob. It's not the broken damage spike, you know. And now that you moved, that you nerfed attack speed, the kill speed in the higher acts, even for good geared persons, is going lower and lower and lower. And that's the point I want to point out in the next tab. I just want to mention at this point, melee playing is now just boring with good gear. Because there are no damage spikes, and you still have a little bit life on hit, yeah, you know, if you have good melee gear, you just go in and say, oh, yeah, I guess in 5 minutes this mob's going down, but I don't die anyway. Oh, that's that. I don't dodge that because I got so much damage reduction. It sucks, man. It just sucks. For melees, it's easy to get damage reduction because they had 30% extra. Okay, it's not that easy. I know you have to farm for it before thousands of people threw trash at me, but it's way easier than like for a Demon Hunter, for instance. Okay, the next step. I need to say that before we go to Diablo 2 and point something out. I need to say that because Jay Wilson is the person right now everyone hates, I guess. But I think that's wrong. Jay Wilson is a nice guy, and Jay Wilson tried his best to make a good new game, not Diablo 2.5. That's the point he always points out. He might not understand the real reason why Diablo 2 is still, you know, I played Diablo 2 last year for a month, and I played it this year 1 month because Diablo 3 will come out and so on. But Diablo 2 is still an addiction game, you know, because when you start playing it, you really want to go on. You really want to go on. You want to be top and nether. You want to have nice gear. You want to try out something and so on. Everything what Diablo 2 makes good is not implemented in Diablo 3. Jay Wilson wanted too much. It's not only his fault. He tried to make a good game. Don't be mad at him. I'm absolutely sure Diablo 3 is his baby, and he really wants to make it good now. And okay, the reason why it was is bad right now is that internal testing was false. There were no real nerds involved, you know, like Athene or Crib or me. Yeah, you can't. Every thinking player saw that Monk and Smokescreen will be OP. It was so true. If you ask Athene, you know, he saw it. You can hear him saying it like 10 times a day. Okay, and I guess every thinking player saw it. But Athene is, I guess, the only one who goes on stream and says, "Hey, I'm so OP, I saw everything." Yeah, but he's right. Yeah, first beta, you did not want me since Warcraft 3. You know, that's what you get. That's just I'm just saying that because I don't know, with which people did you do a beta, you know? What kind of beta test did you do? What was that? That was nothing. You didn't do anything. And your story, man, to guard your story, you could have just added some dummies or so on, yeah? Some areas, just give us level 60 with high-end gear and so on, and we play it in the beta. That's working. But what you did, that was nothing. That was not a good idea, man. That was very wrong. Bad testing. Don't do this again. Okay, so there's still good ideas, you know, with the new system and the runes and so on. It can work, and we can make it work. We have suggestions right now. I have suggestions right now to make it work, and I try to point out why it does not work. Because the very key aspect of Diablo 2 is that every build has items that support this build. For nearly, I guess for every build, there are 1 or 2 core items where they start working. If you don't have these items, this build doesn't work. And when you find this item, or you look it up at Area Summit or something, the build is all over it, you know. And Diablo 3 has nothing of that. Gear is gear. You can use it for this, for that. I wanted to make a video with a barb who kills the Butcher and then gives the gear to a demon hunter and kills it as well. You know, it's possible, no problem. So, who wants to do it? Please add this as answer to the video. And that's lame, man. That's really lame. You can't say build is for everyone. That's wrong. And the real person, no, it's not the person. The real target we have to be mad about is Vivendi, I guess, because they are pushing the unfinished Diablo 3 out, and not Wilson. Jay didn't do it, you know. Vivendi wanted to make money. It's not completely his fault, but we can still fix it by being supportive and being understanding. Yeah, don't be only destructive. And I guess Diablo 3 can still be a good game. So why was Diablo fun? Because first point of the kill speed, second point kill speed, third point kill speed with different spells and specs. It made so much fun to kill whole screens, and the screens dropped like 3 items, and I saw, okay, this item I don't need, next screen. Bam, 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 bam. 2 items, okay, a new potion, I get that. New screen, bam, 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 bam. That was fun. But what is happening right now? I don't know, man. I'm killing like 3 mobs and they mob a holy ton of crap, and so many rare items and so on. I come to that later. I have to pick up every magic item and look at it, because there could be an item worth like 3 or 5 million gold. I still selling blue items on the auction house for 3 million, I guess, some gloves yesterday. That's just bad, man. That's bad. We need interesting items. Diablo 2 had interesting items and not tons of trash. Next point is trading. Okay, you have an auction house right now, and I see what you're doing there, but trading was also very fun. Everyone had this trade charts and trade accounts, and you went online on different sites and you made up some trades and so on. Both parties agreed, and whole communities were built around it. Right now it is, I go to the auction house, I need this, click, okay, done, let's play ahead. That's lame, man, but it's done. You know, the auction house is the next step, and okay, I get that, but trading was a key aspect why Diablo 2 is nice. Don't forget that. Okay, so creating new charts to try 2 new builds. That was a key aspect of Diablo 2. You know, you sat in public transportation or so on and thought, I think I can make a druid with this and that spell. Everyone says the druid is bad, but I like him. I just play him. Okay, I go online later and play it. You know, it's not that, and I guess I somewhat quote Jay here, I go online, look up the best build and just play it. That's wrong, man. We didn't do it at all in Diablo 2. We did not do it. maybe to rush the ladder to be the first 99, but away from that, we played what was fun. And there are no fun builds right now in Diablo 3. There's no fun builds in Diablo 3 right now. Not at all. Sorry. There were certain spots you farmed for a reason in Diablo 2. There were certain spots you farm for a reason. I farm one spot for the reason that I can kill very fast and get the most item level 63. Okay, that's one spot for me, fitting for me. But in Diablo 2, there were many spots. Like, Andariel dropped so many rings. So I could go down to Nightmare and farm Andariel there to get more Zeus, Stone of Jordan, one very strong ring in Diablo 2 for those who didn't play. I could go to Mephisto to get some mid-range gear, but he dropped very nice, you know, Geats or Shaco and so on. But in Diablo 3, there's nothing like that. Everything can drop everywhere. That's wrong, man. That's just wrong. It makes no sense. I just play one spot over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it's not fun, man. It just sucks. The next point is, even especially in hardcore, there were fair situations you can foresee. No sudden walls or instant death traps like in Diablo 3 right now, you know? That's a really huge point. I die so often in Diablo 3, and I really do not want to play hardcore. Grip, big props, man. When you watch a hardcore stream, they act like chicken. And they have to, because Diablo 3 is so unfair. You are so fast in so unfair situations, that's wrong. And that's, surprise, surprise, because of bad mob design. Again, we come to that later. And last point why Diablo 2 was fun is kill speed. So let's come to the rare drops. I played 8 hours in a row yesterday, and I calculated that I made 0.37 rare drops per minute. Wow. And you know how many good items I found? Like 2 or 3, somewhat like that. Can you imagine how many crap drops I had? Please remove that. I don't want to get any crap drop anymore. Please remove that. When I play Act 3 Inferno, I only want to find level 60, 61, 62, 63 items. Everything below, remove it. Instantly. Make them drop more gold, okay? But please, no crap items anymore. And I don't want to have 0.37 rare drops per minute. You can lower the drop rate, it's no problem, no problem. But please don't drop these crap drops anymore. And every 10th rare should be a better unique. Should better be a unique. Because unique items support builds. I said that before. And unique items feel good, you know. And every 10th should be a unique. That's about right. So let's say I find 1 unique per hour with my kill speed. You know, I'm not that slow right now, I guess. I like do 2 Asmodan runs per hour. So you can say on that round, you know, 5 stacks, idea, Asmodan, half a unique, and 9 rare mobs. That's just a suggestion, yeah. But that would be okay. But right now I find like 50 items, and 1 is good, 49 I can instantly drop. It sucks. And one rare per elite, that's absolutely too much, man. That's absolutely too much. You farm only Nephilim's Valor to farm more elite packs. You know, I do the bosses right now because they're a little bit fun, but they drop crap. You know, I only do the bosses because they are a little bit fun, a little bit, and because they are there. And when you drop 1 rare per elite, and 1 rare per boss, like Asmodan or Cydia or Siegebreaker, you really wonder why players just say, okay, last quest, I farm the whole arc and skip every mob and boss and so on. You really wonder? I don't understand you, man. I really don't understand this. In addition, 20 minutes per run were very reasonable. Let's say I'm not a student. I don't go to the university like for 7 hours a day, and then when I go home I have like 4 hours to spare and play Diablo 3. Maybe I'm a father, you know, I have to do something else. I can only play half an hour an evening or something like that. And you really want to punish those guys? Really? Man, that's lame. 20 minutes per run were reasonable. And now runs below, I'd say, with normal gear, of course. Yeah, when you get kick-ass gear, then of course 20 minutes runs are still there. But when you have normal gear, a run takes like 1 hour or 2 hours. That's too long. That's absolutely too long. And that's not okay. That's just not okay. You need to fix that, man. 1 rare per elite was a bad idea. And talking about boss mobs. Oh, one other foil here. I said that we have too many rares. I said that gloves and amulets are too strong. Amulets are too strong, remove the crit damage. Look at the auction house, you know. What items are good? Like, again, for range DPS. You need the primary start, you need crit damage, you need crit hit. And you still can add something like vitality, all res, attack speed. So there's so many stats you want to have in amulets, and when amulets have like 3 or 4 stats, they're absolutely high. Like 60 crit damage, 8 crit, 290 intelligence and soul kit or something like that. That's way too much, man. That's way too much. And if you remove crit damage, that's absolutely fine. Amulets are better. They are not so overpowered. And gloves, for gloves the same. You know, if you have a good amulet and a good glove, you can have blue items on the rest. You know, of course you need a good weapon as well. Sorry, but these spots are absolutely crucial, and you have to. You can remove the crit damage from them without making them bad. But again, please add int or dex to maintain item value on the items that actually exist. If you just remove like 60 crit damage from an amulet, the user want to kill something. Yeah, and on the other hand, belts are too bad. Add resistance, more commonly. And remove some crap stats, you know. You more crap stats that can be on belts, like thorns or pick-up rate or something like that. You don't have to remove it at all. You can just say, okay, it should be half that often on that item or something like that. Yeah. Give more weight to the resistances and the vitality on belts. Same for shoulders. Shoulders, wow, shoulders are so bad, man. Like belts and shoulders together are not even as good as one good glove together. That's wrong. You can tweak that a little bit. And if you want to change something about stats because you feel like, oh, crit damage is a little bit too strong, remove it from gloves. If you feel like, okay, we need a little bit more resistances and so on, add it to belts and shoulders. You have room there. You have space. And right now, boss mobs are jokes. Yeah, and that's okay. Like Cydia, if you have decent gear, Cydia is a mob you can kill without seeing her one time go up. You know, you crit, bam, and she's dead. That's okay. Because, do you remember Diablo 2? I'm going a little bit ahead, but Diablo itself was one hit. When you played Hardcore Ladder 2 weeks, and you made your ball runs and so on, Diablo itself was one hit. And that was okay, because there was a Chaos Sanctuarium before. You had to open some seals, and there was something to do, you know? And in the end, there was some drop. And that's okay. You don't need to add boss mobs where you have to shoot like 10 millions of damage, and when you have really good gear, you have a good possibility to do him, and when you have not that good gear, you have no chance at all. That feels wrong. You should have to play a little bit with your skills, you know. And right now, boss mobs really suck, yeah. And like Siegebreaker, it's no sense. Siegebreaker, you made it a pain in the ass. That's all. I hate Siegebreaker since there's damage reflect. I don't know what you thought. What did you take before you decided to? No, that's wrong, man. That's just wrong. And there's a good idea. You can add one guaranteed item level 62 or 63 per boss. You don't need to say, okay, every item level 63 has to be good, you know. You can just say every boss drops one item level 63 if you have 5 Nephilim Svaler. And suddenly everyone farms only bosses. But they have to do something from the act before. That would be very good, very nice. And you will have good items, but of course you still have a luck factor. And right now it is I play without MF at all. Magic Find is so bad, man. It's sucky. And playing without Magic Find is at the moment the best, because you get a guaranteed yellow from every elite. You get one guaranteed elite from every boss, but who cares about bosses? So I just farm elites. You pick routes where you find as many elites as possible in the shortest time available, and afterwards you just quit the game and go on. You know, Magic Find is very bad. And you were so proud about, okay, there can be everything in like a barrel or something, so destroying barrels is very nice. And when you threw out the game on May 15th, you suddenly realized, oh man, if you can find a good item from a barrel very commonly, people start farming barrels. That's something that you didn't foresee? Really? Dude, I'm not sure there. Okay, so in Diablo 2, bosses were a joke. They were very easy, but it wasn't that easy to get to decent bosses like Baal or Diablo or Nihilatak. And that's the reason why farming them wasn't that easy, and it was worth farming them, you know? That's good. So you can still keep the Siegebreaker being a joke, but you need to have 5 Nephilim stacks before you do him, and that's fine. And then he should drop one nice item, like item level 63 or 62 or 263, and that's nice. That would be a nice idea, in my book, you know. And you need to add farm spots, you know. It's wrong to say everything can drop everywhere. Items are absolutely random all over the game. And as I mentioned before, Andaria was a good farm spot for rings, countess to farm runes and so on, which are not implemented yet, but I guess you will add that later. Higher drop rates on one certain boss or their minions before the boss, you know. If I go for Siegebreaker, stick with that idea, on the Bridge of Corsic, you could add a higher drop rate for a certain item. And here's some suggestion, you know. You can add for every boss a farm spot. Like in Act 1, you start with Inferno and you realize, okay, this game's really hard. So you can make item level 62 drop there. Like for the Skeleton King, they drop item level 62 weapon, for sure. So you can farm the Skeleton King when you just reach Inferno mode and you get a nice weapon to get high DPS, have a chance on an Inferno. That's all you need for now. If you get a nice item level 62 weapon, you can break through until you reach Act 3, I guess. That's all you need. And that's why the Skeleton King should be, or is a nice spot to farm a weapon. That's a good idea. And 2 other 62 items would be a ring or an amulet. And you can see I made these 4 bosses in in capitals, no, in fat, I don't know. These are the best slots you can get. You know, an amulet, and chest, legs, or weapon, and Israel gloves, you know, should be fat as well, but okay, whatever. So the butcher could drop an amulet. This is an early nice item, and you can farm the butcher and the warden to get your jewels. You know, that's a nice idea, I guess. And in Act 2 you can get a belt from Magda, from Cold Shoulders, from Belial Legs, Siegebreaker Bracer, Sidear Boots, Esmeralda Chest, Rekanoth and Helm. But you need to add some more champion packs before Rekanoth, because you can't possibly get 5 stacks before you reach Rekanoth. Or you say, this Ishaktu guy gives you 2 stacks or something like that. Or whatever, man, but Ishaktu, what is this? It was a nice idea, but at the start of the act, you can't do him with stacks. I did Ishaktu 1 time to get the quest. That's everything. I will never see this guy again if you doesn't buff or whatever, you know? So this is my idea. At farm spots, every boss can be a farm spot, and if you want something, like, okay, my shoulders are bad, I go to coal and I farm coal. Next point is elite mobs, you know? I really like the idea you have there, saying, okay, let's stack Nephilim's Valor by killing elite mobs and hire your MF and your gold find. That's a very good idea. We all have to admit that's kind of the best idea you had in Diablo 3. I really like it. It's cool. But there's some minor things I don't like about elite mobs. Waller are absolutely unfair. They open death traps like frag. And there's an idea, just an idea, make walls destructible. It happens so often that one wall spawns in me so I can't move anymore, and the next fireball kills me. Or the walls from 3 champions are always made in view form, you know, and I can't move at all. It doesn't care if I'm melee or ranged, these walls are absolutely broken. Making them destructible by 3 hits, or let's say 50,000 damage or something like that, I guess 3 hits, whatever damage they do, is a nice idea. And the next point is remove invulnerable minions. What the fuck, man? This just sucks. It's a flippin' pain on the bottom, like Sheldon says. And you can remove that. And suddenly elite packs feel way more fair. Like there are no death traps by wallers anymore. And the next point, I didn't make a note here. When you get vortexed by an elite pack, please make teleport or smoke screen or whatever defense thing you have available. When you get pulled by the vortex, you're like stunned, and you get the first damage whatever happens. And that's unfair, man. You just don't be stunned when you get pulled by a vortex. That's unfair. Next point is the mob KI is too smart. I see what you're doing there. The mobs feel like they're thinking, okay, there is some range damage dealer, and we probably should get him first. So the problem is, when I play with a melee player, Robert, one of my friends, is playing melee monk, and he plays a very nice monk, but he can't do anything at all because mobs run from him, I run from mobs, and everyone is running around, and we are all frustrated. This sucks, man. This absolutely sucks. So remove this smart KI and just make them attack the melee so I can team up with Robot. Yeah. What I understand that that a smart KI was a nice idea for a game developer, but it doesn't fit to Diablo, man. Diablo is hack and slay, not run around in circles. Yeah. And there is some more unfair or annoying mob design. I want to point out that I made 2 videos here, and I want to play them really quick. For starters, we see this is in the Tower of the Cursed, you know. And at this point here, there can be a ghoul, you know. I wait at this position because there could be a ghoul or 3 ghouls jumping up the cliff, you know. But since there is none, I waited for nothing. So I go to the next spot and there's again a ghoul. When I walk by, I get killed by these ghouls because I can't kite. And below there are very often mobs. So I have to stay and wait there. That kills gameflow, man. I don't want to wait, I want to kill screens. That's wrong. That's just wrong. That feels wrong. That's annoying. Remove it. Please. Instant. It sucks. I run back. Need to kill off these ghouls. Of course, if you have kick-ass gear and you can get 3 hits or something like that, I just run through it and kill them with 1 shot now. But not everyone has very high-end gear. That's just wrong. It's no need for them, you know? Okay, so I think you got my point about the ghouls there. And the next point are these... What are they? Serpents? I don't think so, man. I see them breaking out of the ground. I move away. I can get 1 hit. They do tons of damage. My follower died. And they have 300,000 HP. So I need 3 hits, I guess. Many other players need 10 hits or something like that. With my wizard, I think I would need 7 hits or something like that. And that's just annoying, man, because if I leave him and I kite the next ellip group to this point, the serpent nearly always kills me. That's why I always have to stop, wait there, kill the serpent. And that's why I skip this area. You want us to farm everything in the game and you add annoying mobs like serpents? That's wrong. That's wrong. Remove them. That's just annoying. Please don't do this. So I think I made my point there. Next would be rogues teleport next to the range and deals so much damage. If you have these teleport rogues with illusionists and like horde minions, the whole screen is full of rogues. They're teleporting next to you. Hit. You can have so much defense as a range TD. That's a flippin' pain in the bottom again. Please don't do this. Some projectiles are too fast, like spears or heralds, arms. You can't dodge that. Even souls. In Diablo 2, you could dodge even souls lightnings. You know, you saw the souls. They popped up. They threw their lightning, and you had time to react and run out of the lightning and do not get killed. But right now, especially when you move to the bottom of Diablo. Wait a minute, I go into the game, show you. Maybe it's lagging a little bit right now because of the tool I use to record, but in the lower bottom, yeah, there's your huge interface. And when I kite mobs, I can see them. Especially heralds and spearmen can kill me from especially this area here, because they have a higher range and these projectiles are so fast I can't react anymore. That's broken, man. After 10 years, or guess 8 years of World of Warcraft, you still have such an HUD, and you do not make HUDs customizable. I don't know the word, but you know what I'm saying? That's wrong. I don't want to kite from bottom to top anymore with that HUD. And I don't want to be killed by 1 herald or 3 heralds who are below that HUD and kill me because they're so fast. This sucks. Remove it. Please. It's just bad. But, next point. We talked about defense, you know. You implement 6 resistances, like holy and arcane, fire, poison, cold, lightning, and physical. And you give players mostly all resistance. You know, sometimes I feel I find an item with like 40 arcane resistance, 70 all res. Who gives a crap about arcane resistance? Except monks maybe, because they have a very nice passive. No one. No one cares for that. That's wrong, man. I don't care for one single resistance. I only want to have all resistance. And that sucks. Why do you do 6 different elements anyways? Makes no sense. And it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Act 1, 2, 3 or 4. You need all resistances. It just sucks, man. If you play Diablo 2, you know, okay, I need fire and I need lightning resistance because I want to be safe against doles and souls. And you want to be a little bit more safe against Diablo fire and the lightning stuff, Diablo and Baldu and so on. Cold is as well a little bit important, and you can react against poison, so there are some different resistances, you know, and Daryl did tons of poison resistance. That's why you put on some poison resistance in hardcore. So people in Diablo 2 noticed, okay, here I need this and that resistance. That's why I stack it a little bit more here. In Diablo 3, it doesn't matter at all. I just stack some resistance, you know. And the next point is there are no caps in resistances. There's no capped stat in Diablo 3 at all. So I just stack everything I get. And that feels wrong as well. You can insert caps, like you should have inserted a soft cap for attack speed, like after 6 attack speed doesn't work that much anymore. Instead, you lowered just the stats on every item. I think we had that. But you could say we make all resistances easier to get, but not with all res. Like 80 all res on an item should be 40 all res right now. Nerf it to the ground. 80 all res on one item is too high. Nerf it. But you should add really more arcane resistance, poison resistance, make them stronger. Make them like 80 poison resistance or something like that, and buff those stats overall. Like with 400 all res you get 80% damage lowerage, just an example, you know. And after you buffed it, you get 85% or something like that. You know, you need fewer resistances, which are harder to get about for all res. So you think a little bit about which resistance do I need. You know, that's making items a little bit more decisive. You add decision making for items. Right now there is no decision making at all. I just stack all res, damage, bam. That's everything. It's boring. You know, in Diablo 2 was a big point. I found that awesome cold rest shoulder with nice damage and so on, and I'm above the cap. You know, in Diablo 2 there was a cap at 75%, and you couldn't really get higher. You know, and in Diablo 3 you just get this better cold rest and you're happy with it. Nothing happens. But in Diablo 2 you said, okay, when I got that much cold rest, I don't need my belt anymore, or something like that. And I could add another belt, you know. And then the reason, or the point it led to was, maybe I go to the forums and trade my belt for a better one that fits me better, you know. And right now I just stack. That's boring. And next point, I don't understand, why did you remove immunities? Please tell me, why? Jay said so often that in Diablo 3 you should be able to switch your skills fast. There's the Nephilim's Valor, okay. I understand that point of Krip saying this Nephilim's Valor makes you not change your spec, but if you say, I want to farm this and that item, you know, we just found out that making farm spots for certain items is cool. So if I want to farm that item, I need poison resistance or something like that, you know? That makes build diversity. Not only resistance, but resistance by the boss. Look at that. Every boss could be a build. Act 1, no problems, that's Inferno, man. And it's very hard, mobs hit like trucks, but you can do it. And afterwards, in Act 2 or 3, you can add single immunities. Magda could be immune to Holy and Arcane, Kul to Lightning, Belial at Poison, Siegebreaker at Cold, Cydia at Physical, Asmodan as Fire. So, if you want to farm Cydia and Asmodan, you don't want to have a build that deals only Physical or Fire. You have to change your build to farm these mobs, bosses, whatever. Right now, I don't care. I have one lightning spell and one physical spell. I just break the game, you know? But with that diversity, you add different builds. Everyone is forced to play different builds. Diablo 2 had that. Diablo 3 does not. Because maybe you wanted to invent something new, but there is nothing to invent when the game is absolutely nice over a decade. So Act 4 could be very tough. Double immunes, Reckonoth, Poison and Cold, Diablo, Lightning and Fire, because that's what he does. Isual, Physical, that's what he does, man. He one-hits everything, and Holy Arcane. Or maybe at Cold, he does Cold. Maybe I did a little mistake there. But that's only an example, you know? That's what you can add. And Act 4 drops the holy craps, man. I said it could drop helms, gloves and weapons. Very strong items for every character. So in Act 4, double immunities. If you want to farm Isual and Diablo, you have to have a build with Cold. And maybe you have a wizard who is mainly based on Cold. Just for example, you know? So maybe I want to play another character to farm Diablo, you know? In Diablo 2, I made like 5 different characters to farm different stuff, especially in hardcore. I had a Smiter, I had a Blizzard Sorg, I had a Fire Orb Sorg, I guess, I had a Java, and so on. And in Diablo 3, right now, I have one Demon Hunter because he kills fastest. Everything. I just stack damage. I don't care. Always a little bit. Effective life is okay, but I just stack. Stack, stack, stack. Kill, kill, kill. It's boring, man. It's just boring. So, next point. In Diablo 2, items support builds. Add bonus damage to certain elements. You did that a little bit, but not very consequently. Look at Diablo 2. Why is there a griffin? That's a helmet that improves lightning damage. Which characters were griffins? Do only wrong word. Wait a minute. Every sorcerer or sorceress and every Java or Amazon, every one of them was a griffin? No, only certain builds, because griffins support builds. Griffins makes builds possible. Yeah, something that Diablo 3 does not have at all. All Unix are crap. I know you want to implement better Unix in the future, but please implement Unix that are colorful. Colorful in perspective of damage, elemental damage. You know? So, in Diablo 2 you can see some bosses cannot be farmed with lightning DPS, so griffin chars are worthless there. So you want to build another char or a second gear set for your char. Respec, get another gear spec, farm. That's fun, man. You have something to do in addition to your champion and PvP level. Just by the way. And again, Unix make builds possible. Add items that support a build and you will make them more common. You know? There's no sense in nerfing good builds. Builds are fun. Good builds are fun. That's very important. You know, I don't want to play a Demon Hunter that is nerfed at everything that he's good at. because he's good at it. Please work at classes that are not that much played. At the moment it would be the witch dog, I guess. So maybe yeah, the witch dog needs a rework. I agree. But you could add some items to support the witch doctor. Items he could farm. Items he could trade for. Items he could wear with that spec or with this spec. Saying, okay, this quiver does 10% elemental arrow damage in addition for a demon hunter. This is only one step, man. You can have so much more. It's only the beginning. And of course, units can be randomized like you do right now, but you cannot create units that are 99% crap and 1% kick-ass. That sucks, man. Okay, I understand that you want to have some units that are really good, but you cannot do 99% of the units which never drop crap. That's a bad idea, man. Look at the Shaco, Harlequin's Crown. It was a good item. Everyone liked it. It was decent, you know. Some of these units make the game feel good. You get your Shaco to begin playing, you know. And afterwards, you got this all-round item. You can have specialized items like the Griffins. Before you think about changing the game, add Unix and or later rune words. I guess you already plan. I always said that. But you should not change Siegebreaker to have damage reflect because we kill them too fast. That's the absolute wrong direction. Siegebreaker is a pain in the ass. No one wants to kill him anymore, except maybe melees, because they're bored to death anyways from every mob. They don't care. And you break the game, man. You break the game with those mechanics. And Athene and Crips offer help. No, Crip, I guess. He's called Crip. I'm sorry. Typo there. And of course I do as well. If you want me for a month for a rescue project on Diablo 3, send me a ticket and a shitload of bucks and I make your game playable, man. No problem. I think after 15 years of playing Blizzard games, playing semi-professional Warcraft 3, and casting StarCraft 2 for 1.5 years, even from China and so on, I guess I can do this. Of course I offer my help, but yeah, sorry I had to add that, man. But after they too said it, I need to say it too. And especially if you out there agree to what I say, or you want to argue about something, please share this video. Give this video a thumbs up, or do not hesitate to give thumbs downs or dislike it. Make honest comments. Do you think I don't understand the game? So just say. In my book, I understand the game, and Diablo 3 right now is wrong. And I guess I feel like 5 million people agree to me. But please rate the video, share it, and if some Blizzard worker is watching this, or Jay, please don't think I hate you or I want to punish you or whatever. I think you really made a great game. Diablo 3 is maybe the best game this year and one of the best games ever. But right now it is still a little bit broken. It's young. It's not finished. And you will finish it, I'm sure. Furthermore, followers like to wake goblins. I don't even see the goblin, and Tyrael or my enchantress is already there. That sucks, man. I tend to farm alone. I don't want to play with my enchantress, although she gives me some crowd control and attack speed and so on, because she activates every goblin on the freaking map. I understand that you want to have the follower to do DPS on the goblin, because otherwise it would feel bad. But the DPS of followers is so low compared to champions that they should ignore goblins at all. Please change that. On the other hand, 115 HP per additional player is still too much, because there are no real synergies between classes. This is not WoW, we don't buff each other. Maybe Barb Monk is a good synergy because they give each other HP, or effective HP of course, like in aspects of resistance and armor and so on. But for the rest, there are no synergies. You can't tell me that some stupid mark of a demon hunter is a synergy. Or this turret. Man, this turret is so few area, or such a low area, you know, such a small area, really sucks. There are no synergies. And 115 HP per additional players is too much. When we were in the second or whatever week and we played the first acts of Inferno, we thought, wow, Inferno's really hard, man. And then we played alone. Yeah, I know you removed the damage tweak, so tanks are more have more survivability in groups, but still mobs die not fast enough. I don't point that out enough. Diablo 2 had kill speed, and Diablo 3 does not. Next point is the login screen is empty. Good artists steal, man. Bad artists borrow. There are no links, there's no video, there's no preview. I log into Diablo 3 and I see my boring character. Right now he's boring because he wears whatever guy is wearing in the whole world, you know. And look at League of Legends. When you log in, you think, pow! Wow, there's a video again. There's this cute girl who makes every week a new video about, and there are new champions and so on. And okay, there's a link to news and there's a tournament and so on. And in Diablo 3, in 2 days, the Diablo server will be down for 1 hour, blah blah blah. That's all I see. It's boring. Please, please, you can use it there. Make your game exciting. And please, in the last weeks I read that you want to implement clan support in StarCraft 2. Please don't tell me that's new to you. Please don't, because if you say clan support in Battle.net is new, you try to make a fool out of us. Same for chat channels. You have no chat channels in Diablo 3. I see that your game is unfinished and you had to push it out because Vivendi said project finished, launch. But it can't be that hard, man. It can't be that hard. After you sold like 7 million of Diablo 3, you have no channels? That's wrong, man. That's just wrong. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. One more point. When you want to nerf crit damage, please don't destroy all crit damage weapons. That's a crucial point, because crit damage weapons are at the moment worth like 200, 300, 400 euros or something like that. Or let's say dollar. If you nerf them, people want to kill you. For a good reason. You can scale it down a little bit. Like, games are a little bit too strong in weapons. Perfect, whatever, green gem, the biggest one, gives 100%. Scale it down to 90. And make weapons that have more than 90% crit damage on them have 90% crit damage. That's maximum cap. That's all you need to do on weapons. Rest you can do on gloves and on amulets and add something else there. Yeah, I guess I talked about everything here. I hope you enjoyed. Please give me some feedback, and I would be glad if this video hits 100,000 views, because I think that's everything Blizzard needs to know to make a good game. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Please share it. And see you next time. Bye bye.